Good afternoon, Intuitives. Thank all of you who recently subscribed to the channel and those of you that enjoy my narcissism videos. I would love to hear your feedback about the case study I did on Jeremy DeWitt. And as I said, if that case study interests you, there's plenty of videos on the whole story of Jeremy DeWitt and Metro State. PoliceTube is probably, at least in my opinion, the best channel on the matter. So I would check out those if that's something of interest to you. Nervous tick, I'm convinced. I was going to try to get through a video without doing that, but I ain't making no promises. So what I wanted to talk about today is INFJs and our love of charity and why supporting charities are important to us as INFJs. Well, this is for several reasons. One is our empathic nature that the vast majority of us have. INFJs want to help others, want to be part of something doing good, want to make the world a better place, want to help people in need. Charities provide us that opportunity. As individuals that are introverted, we're not the most social creatures out there, though we're the most extroverted introverts. But so the chance of us going out there solo or in a super small group, not that good because we're just us and we're not the most social. So charities that support specific causes that are dear to us are opportunities for us to take part in a larger organization trying to complete a common good, trying to help people in need, specifically a need that we support, and it gives us the ready-made infrastructure to help just a little bit. Because at some point, in our lives, we're not that capable of providing much help. Maybe you can't go fundraise. Maybe you can't physically get out there and help, like build for Habitat for Humanity or something. But, you can throw a 20 spot to charities or whatever, something that is dear to you. Like, as I mentioned, I support a handful of charities. One of them I was able to help fundraise for by incorporating this channel over the summer. And I believe I mentioned in one of those videos how my first and most important mentor of my life was my, maternal grandmother, and she was struck down by strokes and other brain injuries. Well, there's nothing I could have done for her at the time. She passed away in 2003, and to date, I lack the ability to help somebody with a stroke beyond, what an EMT does, like a Cincinnati stroke scale test, to try to determine if somebody is suffering from a stroke and get them to the hospital as soon as possible. I'm not a neurosurgeon, I'm not a nurse, etc. So to help others that are suffering brain injuries, I really don't have that ability, by myself. But to throw 20 quid to Same You, which is an organization to help those suffering from brain injury and to aid in their recovery, that I can do. Which is why, it makes charities that support causes that are near and dear to me so important. As I said, it's part of our empathic nature as INFJs. We want to help people. That drives us. That gives us fulfillment. I mean, as you all know, and are probably sick of hearing, my dream job was to be a professional firefighter. And I got hired twice, and my story. And I became an EMT at 17 on my own accord. Yeah, so helping people, kind of what I wanted to devote my life for. That's what motivates me, not money, more than having enough to survive and not live paycheck to paycheck. That's nice, One bedroom apartment. Yeah, kind of missed that. That was nice. It's like Ferrari. I don't need that. My beater Volkswagen still runs. And it's stick shift because stick shift is better. Stick shift better, just like revolvers. But so charity gives us, as I said, the infrastructure to help towards causes that we support, and also in some cases it may allow us to potentially meet like-minded people, because the people you would meet through whatever charity you support are supporting the same cause as you, so you have at least that in common. and perhaps, can connect on some level. You never know. One of the charities I wanted to mention today that I support from time to time, told you to show up, is the Dennis Leary Firefighter Foundation. It's been around since I think about 2000. I've been aware of it since 2005 and have, tried to support it when I can. And you may wonder, well, why is actor comedian Dennis Leary running a firefighter foundation? Well, he is closely tied to the fire service, as sadly a cousin and a friend who he was both close to growing up died in one of the largest modern tragedies in the fire service, the Worcester Cold Storage, where 6 members of the Worcester, Massachusetts fire department were killed. And I'm going to do another video on that because, ironically enough, when you're in fire school as a professional firefighter, you learn the history of the fire service for a few days, and we all got assigned a LODD, or line of duty death, report to do and present. Mine, so by chance, was the Worcester Cold Storage. Yeah, what are the odds, right? So I know a little more about that than the average firefighter does, just because it was an assignment of mine to research it, and it would have to get its own video for me to even begin to do it justice. But in the aftermath of this tragedy, a lot of changes were made to the fire service, and I'm not going to go through all of them here, but just to give an example, it was that tragedy that now made it mandatory for each firefighter to carry a portable radio. And it additionally established the RIT team, Rapid Intervention Team. What a RIT team basically is firefighters are listening as I'm oversimplifying this to explain it to non-firefighters, is basically an engine or a ladder truck crew, usually 4 people, that are on standby and go in, rush in to help any firefighter in distress that, say, sends out a Mayday call. Mayday call, again, oversimplifying it, is on that portable radio, there's a depressed button that you can push in an emergency, and it takes precedence over all the channels, so everybody can hear you. The other people on the radios can't talk over you when you have the Mayday button depressed, and you're able to make that stress call, and they're able to come in and help you. Prior to that, it was more difficult to locate downed firefighters or for them to even get attention on the radio, because there's a lot of radio traffic going on between all the different crews and chiefs on a fire scene. Again, Worcester Cold Storage will get its own video. But I wanted to mention the Leary Firefighter Foundation because they are a great organization that ensures that modern firefighters, both career and volunteer, have the proper equipment like safety equipment, so a firefighter can be as safe as possible while in a fire, and proper training equipment so that when the need to use certain firefighter skills arise, they have the training aids to be ready for that, to do it as efficiently as possible. Like I just read on their website not long ago, they got a bunch of departments, forcible entry door trainers, and they're fun. I love that in the academy. It's basically a door, and you can set it up with wood and other things to practice your forcible entry skills with your Halligan bar and your axe. And when you get the hang of it, it's a lot of fun, and it gets competitive of who can break in faster. But that's an important skill, for those of you that know nothing about the fire service. It's important for a firefighter to be able to breach a door as quick as possible, because think about it. If you are trapped in that fire, or one of your children are, and it takes, a firefighter 5-10 minutes to breach a door to even enter the building, that's not good. It should take less than 2 minutes, I think, ideally less than a minute. So the Leary Firefighter Foundation, as I said, provides the training equipment and also safety equipment, among other things, to fire departments that are struggling to afford it. Because let's be honest, and this is especially true in the city environment and professional departments, when a city or a county's budget gets slashed, what is almost always the first thing on the list? Firefighters, the fire department. Most places endured a 4 to 8 year hiring freeze due to the 2008 recession. I know because I was emailing all the departments in like a 4-hour radius trying to see when they were testing next, and they were still hiring cops at the time. Cops always get the money. Firefighters are always told to do more with less, and that can be very dangerous for the firefighters themselves, especially if they're running lean, as we call it, like running a 4-person truck with 3. That's dangerous, or overworking people to where they don't get the proper rest. That's dangerous, and it can potentially make the firefighters on a call responding less efficient in their rescue activities if they are overworked, sleep deprived, and of course short staffed. So the Leary Firefighter Foundation tries to ensure that all fire departments, career and volunteer, receive the proper funding in order to properly staff their department and have the proper safety equipment and training equipment to be as safe as possible in a building, on a call, and be efficient in their skills that they would use in that call. I'm going to put a link to it down here, so if you want to check out their website, maybe throw them a little money, because remember, be there for the firefighters, because we're always there for you when you need us.